What up? It's the Double Eye Baller here, and today I will be talking about my top 10 NBA players of all time. I will be saying this is my opinion, so don't get mad when your favorite player is not on this list. And remember, this isn't my favorite NBA players, it is the players I think are the greatest, the best of all time. Let's get into it and not get too scrambly. Let's get into the video. At number 10, Larry Bird. Yes, you might say this is a little too low, but you need to understand there are people better than just Larry Bird. Anyways, back on track. Larry Legend was one of the two of the best players in the 80s era. Him and Magic Johnson has no doubt the greatest rivalry of all time, with I believe 10 matchups. In his career, he won 3 rings meaning championships, 2 Finals MVPs, 3 MVPs, and a 9-time member of the All-NBA First Team. If those aren't legendary, I don't know what is. At number 9, Bill Russell. Again, yes, you might say Bill Russell is a little too low, but people need to see is that he had a lot of help on that 11 championship team. I mean, he had Sam and Casey Jones, which, if you don't know, were excellent players, very underrated. John Havlicek, Bob Cousy, and a lot more on that team. Almost all of the people on that team were Hall of Famers. But I won't decline the fact that he was a great player. He just can't be any higher than at number 9 if you look on the rest of the people on this list. Besides his rings, he won 5 NBA MVPs, which is a lot. Anyways, next player on this list. At number 8, Shaquille O'Neal. He was one of the, or should I say the greatest center of the 2000s era. He dominated the hardwood by simply dunking and throwing post moves and hooks at his opponent. Oh, we all remember this dunk.
Jack. Against Dudley. Nice. Shaquille O'Neal was so powerful on that move that Dudley could not even foul, and he just got over.
He wasn't the most skillful player, I'd say, the reason he is number 8, but he still dominated, as in his best season he averaged 30 points, 4 assists, and 13 rebounds. Wow. Let's not forget his 3 blocks. He was a machine. He achieved 4 championships, 1 MVP, 3 Finals MVPs, Rookie of the Year, and 8 All-NBA First Team selections. At number 7, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain. Why so low? Because there are plenty of competition he has to deal with that are better. Yes, Wilt Chamberlain was great, but he has to deal with a lot people better. Wilt Chamberlain, though, dropped the record for most rebounds with 55 rebounds in a single game. I'm surprised that isn't as talked about as his 100 points, the most points in an NBA game, a single NBA game. It was probably like playing some house league kids for him. No doubt a monster. 2-time champion, 4 MVPs, Rookie of the Year, and a 7-time All-NBA First Team. And he isn't number 1? At number 6, Tim Duncan. Sometimes Tim Duncan doesn't get the credit he deserves. He's not underrated, but he's not overrated at the same time. But he sure isn't just right. He's slightly underrated, I guess. I don't know how to explain him. Tim Duncan, in his 20-year career, yes, 20-year career, that he didn't even leave the San Antonio Spurs in one season, had 5 rings, 2 MVPs, 10 All-NBA First-Team selections, 8 All-NBA Defensive First-Team selections, and 3 Finals MVPs. He definitely deserves to be labeled number 6 all-time, while also being the greatest power forward of all time, and probably could be labeled number 2 in the 2000s era. At number 5, Kobe Bean Bryant. I could listen for days and days on how Shaq carried Kobe. Well, I've proved that it's all lies. On the screen now, I'll show his stats for the three-peat with the Lakers. Yes, he wasn't the best on the team, but he was still a superstar. Yes, not all-star, a superstar. And in 2001, Kobe's best year in the three-peat, Kobe averaged the same as Shaq in points. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, Kobe Bryant was a 5-time champion, 2 without Shaq, 1 MVP, 2 Finals MVPs, and 11 All-NBA First-Team selections, 3 with Shaq. He was technically robbed in 2006 for the MVP when he averaged 35 points, so you could count that as an MVP, but he didn't win it. Oh, also, 81. At number 4, LeBron James. Now here are the people you could argue for number 1. LeBron could be argued to be number 2, maybe number 1, but the next 3 people I believe are a little better. LeBron James might be the best all-around player of all time, but not the greatest ever. His legacy does not live up to the next 3 people on this list. Maybe in the future, but not right now. LeBron James won 3 NBA championships, 4 MVPs, 3 Finals MVPs, 11 All-NBA First Team, and a Rookie of the Year. LeBron did leave Cleveland to join a super team, but people need to realize that he didn't join a team of Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant. He joined Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Dwayne Wade was a superstar, slightly becoming an all-star, and Chris Bosh was already an all-star. That team was equivalent to the Cavs now, but just a slight better. Number 3, Magic Johnson. Again, him and Larry Bird was the biggest rivalry of all time, and Magic Johnson was Magic. He was a flashy passer, not even maybe, he is the greatest passer of all time. His best season was 24 points, 12 assists, and 6 rebounds. 5-time NBA champion, 3-time NBA Finals MVP, and another 3-time NBA Most Valuable Player, and 9-time All-NBA First Team. He was no doubt the greatest Laker of all time, though there could be an argument that Kobe is, but I will stay true to my word. Magic Johnson was the greatest point guard ever and greatest player of the 1980s, his era. Number 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest center of all time. His best season was when he put up 35 points and 16 rebounds, while in the previous season, he put up 31 and 16. I could have an argument that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest player of all time, and I support if you think that. 6-time champion, 2-time NBA Finals MVP, and 6-time Most Valuable Player, and 10-time All-NBA First Team. Yes, people can argue that he was carried by Magic in the 80s, but I could argue the same type argument about the Kobe and Shaq one. At number 1, Michael Jordan. You saw it coming. I don't have much to say here since there is so much things I could say proving he is the GOAT. I might make a separate video on me proving he is the greatest of all time in basketball. So like this video if you think that should happen. 6-time NBA champion, 6-time NBA Finals MVP, 5-time NBA Most Valuable Player, and 10-time All-NBA First Team. Did I say he won 6 titles with no losses? He takes my vote for the greatest NBA player of all time.